welcome back to another product profile, and what I'm holding are our brand new, just released plug-and-play versions of the SU-35. A little pusher jet, park flyer type, something you're gonna be able to bring pretty much anywhere with you and just toss it in the car and go. So as with all product profiles, we're gonna have our pilot, Alex Davis, fly one of them for you. He's gonna take it through all its paces, show you what it can do, and then we're gonna land it, bring it back to the studio, and I'll take you through an entire build, go over the spec, and an unboxing. So let's get this bad boy in the air, and let's get rolling.
All right, hand launch time. And we are off. The new SU-35. And wow, that got right up there. Nice power on this thing, huh? He goes right to inverted, our pilot Alex Davis. You guys are seeing his sticks now. And as you'll hear when we go back to the studio, I'll go over the specs, but this thing is running, woo! This thing is running on a 2200 3S. Again, this was the plug-and-play version. Put two of these together. It took me about 45 minutes to get them together, one at a time. It went together really easily, came out boxed nicely, and as you can see, just a solid little flyer. So Alec, you've been piloting this thing for a little while today.
Yep.
It's got good characteristics, fast and slow.
Yep. Super good slow flight characteristics.
That's what we were expecting, right? When we were putting it together, I'm like, this thing's probably going to be able to do that alpha stuff nice and easy. Look at that. We got a nice calm day. And then more than enough power to get out of that sticky situation. We're in a really tight space here outside our office. We just didn't have time to get to our flight field, our usual location. But as you can see, we didn't really need to. Get them over the treetops. Coming back at us. Nice loop. How's the roll rate on this bad boy?
It's good. I'll come around and do a few rolls.
He went over our head. There we go. Oh, look at those. Nice. Like we said, again, we're in a very confined space. He's able to make all the turns he needs. Now, if you guys wondering, this is running on just 3 channels. All we have is a throttle channel and then your elevons. So basically your aileron and your elevator attached together. We'll show you that in the studio. So that's basically all it flies on. It's a pretty simple setup. Easy to hand launch. And overall, just easy to have fun with. You were flying it earlier, Alec. How long did you were you getting on a pack about, you think?
About 5.5, 6 minutes.
5.5, 6 minutes.
Yeah, depending on how much throttle you use.
Yeah, if you're all throttle all day, then expect that time to be shorter.
I'll do another pass and then we'll bring it in for a landing.
Sure. Nice, fast. This thing is great. I could easily see this being a nice addition. Again, easily will fit in your car, no problem with that wingspan. It's not very big. Coming in for a nice landing. This is the type of thing you're just gonna basically sit down. There it is. Sat in a bush, but it worked well. That's what it's for.
All right, guys, back in the studio. Just saw us flying it. Now it's time to go over the spec a little more in detail, but then we're going to get into a step-by-step build going right off the manual. So regarding the spec on this fighter, guys, it is 750 millimeter. They got a 1/20th scale SU-35, but again, 750 millimeter wingspan. We got a 40 amp ESC that's included because again, it is plug and play, and we got a 2450 kV motor that is also included. As far as the build go, guys, it's pretty straightforward. You do get a nice instruction manual that's very detailed, as you're going to see, because we're going to build a second one, which I have right next to me. And we're going to do that in a second. And as far as what you're going to need a lot of CA, because it takes a lot of glue to get this thing together. You'll definitely want some kicker. It does come with 2 servos that you're going to have to install yourself. They are on the back side here. And they glue right in, but you want to center those. So I got a servo tester. I centered these before I put it together, and that always helps. Then you'll just need a screwdriver and some other minor basic tools. The plane also includes a 6x4 propeller, guys, and we were running it on the most common pack, a 2200 3-cell. Let me quickly just show you the inside. I've yet to bind this model up. You're seeing this. This was before we flew them when we did the video. But you'll see you got a nice, more than enough space to get your 2200 3-cell in there. And then you also have, your ESC, and then you just have your 2 servo leads because again, just one for each elevon and one for the throttle. So guys, that wraps it up for the specs. So what we're gonna do now is, I again have a fresh one right here. I'm gonna show you an unboxing, show you what comes in the box, and then we're gonna get started with the build. As you can see, guys, pulling it out of the box, everything is packed up really nicely. It's all neat in this one big piece of styrofoam. Everything you're gonna need is in there. Your canopy, your intakes, your lower fuselage, upper fuselage, you got your wings, your vertical fins, and then all your miscellaneous motor mounts, your ESCs in there, your motor, your propeller, you have those 2 servos, your horns, rods, screws, everything you're gonna need to get this plane going. And although it might look like a lot, it really goes together rather quickly, so let's get started with the build right now. Right, so your first step is gonna be gluing the canopy to the base. So you just wanna apply the glue evenly around the edge of the top of the cockpit, and then align the canopy on and slide it right on. Then step 2 is gonna be actually gluing the front fuselage down to the big fuselage. Now step 3 is gonna be gluing in your servos, but that's where you're gonna wanna center your servos. If you do have a servo tester, it's always best to do this now and not do it later. Even though it is pretty easy to access, you can do it later, but you might as well get those centered now, and then afterwards glue them right into the fuselage. Step 4 is gonna be applying the ventral intake. So again, a liberal amount of glue here, spread it out evenly, all the places that are marked on the manual. Step 5, this is 2 parts. This is going to be just screwing in your motor to the motor mount. And make sure, obviously, the wires go through the motor mount where they're supposed to. Then you're just going to glue in that motor mount. It fits perfectly right behind the battery hatch on the front fuselage. Step 6 is going to be gluing your battery cover hatch right to the battery cover. Moving on to step 7, that's where you're going to glue your carbon rod for your wing support right to the upper fuselage, as you see here. I made a little mark in the center just to make sure it was even on both sides. Now step 8 is going to be gluing the lower fuselage to the upper fuselage, and then gluing in those ventral fins to the lower fuselage. Step 9 is going to be gluing the vertical fins to the fuselage, and it's very easy. They are marked right and left, so you won't be confused. Step 10 is very quick, and this is where it all comes together. This is where you glue your front fuselage to the rear fuselage. Then step 11 will be gluing your wings on, so your left and right wings, and again, use a generous amount of glue. In the manual, steps 12, 13, and 14, they divided them up, but basically it is attaching your control horns and rods. And when you get to the control rod assembly, you will see that one servo does actually move both the aileron and the elevator, so there you have the elevons. Then guys, after you have your rods and horns all attached, you are basically good to go. You're free to apply your decals. And there you have it, guys. That's going to do it for the build. Once you're all done with all those steps, the last step you're going to have to do is just get this thing bound up. And that's very simple. We're using a D4R2, just a 4-channel receiver. You only need 3 channels because you have your throttle plugged in, and then you only have those 2 other servos. So your elevon 1 and your other elevon. So it sets up just like a wing in your radio. Obviously, we were using Tyrannuses. whatever radio you're going to choose, whatever receiver, should be pretty easy to set this thing up. And guys, again, that'll wrap it up for this product profile. We hope you enjoyed the full flight, hope you enjoyed the build portion, and I hope you look out for more new models coming from HobbyKing, more product profiles, more content coming your way through all our channels, Facebook, Instagram, but especially on YouTube. So if you are a subscriber, click the bell over in the top right corner of our homepage. That'll make sure you guys get the alerts. You're alerted whenever we post a new video. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next time.